wer ist das denn jetzt? Das ist die Fotografin, die unterwegs ist.
Mr. McCallan.
Woher weiß sie, wie ich heiße?
Yes? How do you know my name?
It's a work assignment that brings you to the island. Am I right?
She began staring at me with intense, hypnotic eyes. Disguised within her tailored outfit and tortoiseshell spectacles, she had the crazed look of someone not entirely in touch with reality. That's right.
An auditing job.
Eyes that looked like she was reading my very thoughts.
Sie ist
Yes.
komisch.
And you're late. Days late.
I was beginning to panic. Ned had warned me about the supernatural on this island. Was this person standing in front of me equipped with psychic powers that could read my very thoughts? How do you know all this? Are you the witch doctor?
The witch doctor? No. It was written on this telegram that came in for you. It came through a few days ago now. Your boss isn't too happy by the looks of it. Bill Bolam, the taxi driver, telephoned and said I'd find you out here.
You're reading my telegrams?
I'm a newspaper reporter. It's one of the best ways to get a good story. Now, do you want it or not?
If you wouldn't mind.
Natürlich will ich das haben.
McCallan, you're late
Die
reporting
Stimme von
in.
Scully.
I don't remember authorizing the reopening of a cold case. But you better make sure it pays off, or you'll be swapping desks back to the mailroom. Sid Sinclair Auditing Company.
Do you want to send a reply?
What was there to say? My only contact was going to be pushing up daisies by morning, and my one lead was the magazine I'd been carrying with me since heading out. Before I checked in with my boss, I needed some progress to report badly. You know, for now I'll just leave it.
Suit yourself. Sounds like you're up to some fun on the island, Murphy. Be a sweetie and keep me updated so I have something to write about, won't you?
She didn't even wait for a reply before she started striding back through the bayou. She hadn't taken a single thing from me, and yet somehow, I still felt like I'd just been mugged.
Okay. Ich verstehe, was er meint. Das ist doch die Stimme von Scully. Ich habe keine Ahnung, wie Scully im Originalton klingt. Nee, das Telegramm
I
wollte ich
packed the
nicht.
fish guts into the tin boat. It was the smelliest little ship to sail the seven seas.
Ich bin endlich aus dieser schrecklichen Strumpfhose raus. Wegen dem Pups soll ich jetzt Kompression tragen, ist die Hölle. Ja gut, Kompressionsstrumpf, ja. Ja, warum nicht? WB
Perhaps
ist
this would
da.
attract the gator's attention.
Willkommen zurück.
The hulking mass of scales and muscles lumbered to the edge of the jetty and dangled its toothy jaws over the side, its nostrils flickering at each waft of fish guts.
So, und jetzt drehen wir das Ding und schubsen ihn rein. Jawohl, easy. Easy job.
With a splash that would be the envy of any cannonballing kid at a pool party, the irritable reptile disappeared into the murky bayou. I just hoped it didn't hold a grudge.
Find a way past me. Okay. See you later, Alligator. Weil es voll unangenehm ist und eng und einfach nervig. Ja, denke ich mir. Aber was muss, das muss. Hier gibt es einen präparierten Fisch zum Mitnehmen. Oder wir
A
gucken.
taxidermied fish was mounted on a board surrounded by a... The taxidermied fish looked like it was barely hanging on to the rotting wooden frame. Deciding it would be better coming with me, I picked it up.
Okay.
And in doing so, tore a long hole in its previously stitched-up seam. It was
Ach,
the
das ist ein
taxidermied
Stofffisch.
fish I'd taken from the riverboat, with a ripped seam opening up to the stuffing inside.
Okay. Ja, bei den Venenproblemen habe ich mich ja wohl extra vor dir in die Reihe gestellt. Das stimmt wohl, ja.
It was a large paddle wheel used to propel the ship,
Wobei,
unused for
geht
years
so.
by the looks of it.
Spirits and specters from realms yet unknown, guide to me the wanderer who searches alone. Welcome, Murphy McCallan.
Warum weiß er meinen
How do
Namen
you know
auch?
my name? Have you been reading my telegrams too?
I have no need for such trivial paperwork. I have eyes all over this island. Now it's time for me to see you for myself. Come, step into the light. I know a lot about you, Murphy. Unknown parents, a childhood spent in orphanages. I know things about you even you don't know.
How do you know all that?
My name is Dr. Morey. I am a conjurer, a shadow man, a controller of spirits that balance the line between life and death. And those spirits whisper to me. But for now, it's your time to talk, Murphy. Tell me why you've come to my humble abode.
I've been told you could help me.
That depends on what you seek.
I kept telling
Das, was
myself
alle
that the
suchen.
doctor's theatrics didn't convince me. That there must have been a logical reason why he knew what he did, but with how skittish the locals were, humoring him seemed like my only chance of learning more. I'm looking for the $13 million that went missing from the Belmore accounts. I'm an auditor in the company I work for.
Murphy, do you take me for a fool? I know what your mind sees when your eyes are closed. Tell me, Murphy,
Ja.
what do you dream of?
Okay. Geht so. Mit wie vielen Krampfadern kämpfst du so? Weiß nicht. Warum muss man damit kämpfen? Sind die nicht einfach nur da? Heftig, Penny, da musst du durch. Ist ja nur zu eurem Besten. Richtig. Schaut wohl so aus, aber daran gewöhnt habe ich mich immer noch nicht. Naja, gut, aber man gewöhnt sich vermutlich dran, weil es gibt ja Menschen, die das immer tragen müssen. Kurze Frage, passt der Ton eigentlich? Wahrscheinlich schon, oder? Da hat schon jemand was gesagt. So, aus welchem Grund sind wir denn hier? Von was träumen wir? Ich träume davon, den verlorenen Schatz von Belmore-Männer zu finden. Ich träume davon, meinen Arbeitsauftrag zu erfüllen. Naja, einen Schatz finden ist schon geiler als ein Arbeitsauftrag, oder?
I dream about finding the lost treasure of Belmore Manor.
I see that spirit within you, hungering for more than an auditor's life. And I know you've dreamed about that treasure every night since you first read the story. Tell me I'm not right.
It's like the treasure is calling out for me to find it.
Many have sought the lost treasure of Belmore Manor. All have failed. Some, it is said, have perished in the process. Do you know what happened at Belmore Manor all those years ago?
The ghost story? I've read it, but I don't know how much of it is really true.
All of it. Dark magic runs throughout Belmore Manor. The house was built by the Belmore brothers, 3 merchants from England, who made their fortune trading across the Caribbean. Xavier Belmore, an explorer. Yardley Belmore, an actor. And Cecil Belmore, a scientist. Their parents dead for many years, they each loved and cared for their young sister, Abigail. Abigail met a young sailor who worked aboard her brother's ships, and in less than a year, he proposed. The engagement was a scandal. Despite having the pick of any eligible bachelor in high society, her hand and her share of the Belmore fortune was to go to a commoner. Because of their unconditional love for their young sister, the Belmore brothers sanctioned the union. But people began to wonder if Abigail was being locked into marriage, whether by blackmail or black magic. The 3 proud brothers planned a grand wedding, but in the months leading up to it, one by one, each of the brothers was lost, presumed dead. And yet the wedding was still to go ahead. And with Abigail set to inherit the entire Belmore fortune once she came of age, people began to wonder whether the sailor was not a perpetrator, but a pawn. On the morning of the wedding, Abigail summoned the sailor to her chambers. "I don't love you," Abigail declared. "I never loved you." And before the guests gathered in the house, Abigail declared that she would marry another on that same evening. John Rackham, first officer of the Belmore Trading Company, would be her new groom. Except that didn't happen. That night, everyone in the house suddenly and mysteriously vanished. Perhaps it was the last revenge of the scorned sailor. In the house that night was a heart that would be broken, a victim who would be tricked, and a force that would unleash evil. But no one knows exactly who each was. If you want to find the treasure, Murphy, you'll have to find out.
Okay.
You're telling me that all of that actually happened?
And so much more, Murphy. Mysteries you have yet to uncover.
Dr. Morey's performance was gripping, but it seemed like something out of the vaudeville shows I'd snuck into as a teenager. Grifters peddling magic spells, fortune-telling, and miracle elixirs. At least that's what I tried to tell myself. And the treasure, is that real too?
It is as real as you are, Murphy. And someone went to a lot of trouble hiding it.
Can you help me find it?
I can. If you can prove your dedication to the search, I will need you to retrieve something from inside the house. A small leather pouch called a gree-gree still lies inside Abigail Belmore's bedroom. We will need it if I'm to help you. This will get you inside.
Okay. Der Schlüssel ist geflogen.
You're not gonna pull a rabbit out of your hat for your next trick, are you?
I do not do tricks, Murphy McCallan. You'll soon learn this. The Belmore estate lies at the end of the northeastern peninsula of Devil's Rock. Find that gree-gree and bring it back to me.
Neuer Ort auf der Karte.
I'll be here when you return. And Murphy, this ghost story? Now it's your story too.
Ja, ist gruselig. Ja, ist etwas gruselig. So, ich hoffe nicht, dass ich die. Ich hoffe, dass ich die nicht vorher übertragen muss. Muss mich dann nach der Schwangerschaft mal informieren, was man da machen kann. Na, bei Krampfadern gibt es, glaube ich, nur eins. Also rein spontan hätte ich vermutet, du musst sie ein paar Wochen nach der Geburt auch noch tragen. Was sich dein Körper wieder an den ohne Kindzustand gewöhnen muss. Weiß ich nicht, ob das vonnöten ist. Aber wie gesagt, soweit ich weiß, bei Krampfadern gibt es, glaube ich, nur eine Lösung und das ist ziehen. Und ob das dauerhaft Hilfe oder hilft, weiß ich nicht. Aber was macht denn eine Krampfader? Also tut die weh? Schmerzt die? Behindert die einen? Keine Ahnung.
Framed by trees and lit by moonlight, Belmore Manor stood imposingly in the still night air. Even without any lights on, it felt like something inside the house was calling me. Or warning me.
Nirgendwo Licht an. Ja, mal hinten.
Looking out over the tranquility of the gardens, its magnolias lit by moonlight, nothing could take my attention away from the macabre sight dangling from the oak tree. A hanged skeleton, its wedding suit little more than tattered rags clinging to bone, and its skull seemingly watching me with hollow, unblinking eyes. An eternal groom without a bride.
Okay, aber da scheint da irgendwas in der Hand zu haben. Wahrscheinlich einen Ring, den ich brauche. Irgendwie muss ich da hochkommen. Ich würde die auf jeden Fall drin ziehen
The
lassen.
skeleton hung high up in the tree, swaying with each slight breeze. Even from down on the ground, I felt disturbingly close to it.
Eigentlich macht meine erste Probleme, seit ich schwanger bin, sind vermutlich die Hormone. In meinem Fall juckt die einfach nur ganz schlimm. Okay.
A skeleton, clothed in wedding attire, hung by the neck from a branch of the tree. Glinting in the moonlight was a wedding ring it still held clasped in its bony fingers.
Okay, aber die juckt dann so stark, dass du sie aufkratscht und das gefährlich ist, oder? Ich müsste aber auch wegen meines Lipödems eine Kompression tragen, aber da will ich mich später auch mal wegen einer OP beraten lassen. Ja, kannst du mal mit der Kata drüber sprechen. Schön, 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 ein Rad.
The wheel was too heavy to move. An old carriage wheel sat discarded in the grass.
Interessant, was man von ChatGPT so erfahren kann. War gerade wissensbegierig. Ziemlich viel tatsächlich, ja.
The barrel dangled from the rope like a piñata, but having this burst over my head would be the first step in getting tarred and feathered. A barrel hung from a rope marked in stenciled writing,
Melasse.
molasses.
Okay, brauche ich vielleicht irgendwann mal Melasse?
A cow skull was mounted on the frame as a macabre decoration. The cow skull was out of reach, high up on the gable.
Abgeschlossen, logischerweise.
Doors were firmly locked from the inside. 2 large doors marked the entrance to the building, wide enough for the grandest of carriages.
Tobi, was gibt's denn bei dir zum Essen?
The knot was tied so tightly I couldn't loosen it. A length of rope dangled a barrel in front of the carriage house's hatch. The other end was tied off on the handle of the side door.
Hormone lockern das Bindegewebe und die Venenwände machen sie dehnbarer und weniger stabil. Erhöhtes Blutvolumen. Blutvolumen steigt um bis zu 40%, was die Gefäße erweitert. Mechanischer Druck. Der wachsende Uterus drückt auf den Beckenvenen und erschwert den Blutrückfluss aus den Beinen. Dies führt zu geschwollenen Beinen, Ödem, Krampfadern und einem erhöhten Thromboserisiko. Okay. Ah, schön. Oh, schön. Hufeisen.
The horseshoe was just out of my reach. A horseshoe hung above the threshold of the gazebo, supposedly a symbol of good luck.
Noch nichts, mit dem ich was runterholen könnte, ne?
From the patina of rust, it was clear the patio set hadn't been used in decades. A table and chairs sat inside the gazebo, an echo of better days. Gazing up at the glowing moon, it reminded me of a poem I could recite by heart, even if I couldn't remember where I'd first heard it. From way up high, the moon can spy beyond where eyesight delves. But with some time, the maritime can see those sights themselves.
Okay, also du musst sie länger tragen. Ich schwöre, eine Schwangerschaft verlangt dem Körper echt alles ab. Alles könnte dich töten. Von der Natur nicht ganz so schlau gemacht. Naja, gut.
Ouch!
Ja klar, jetzt fällt das Hufeisen einfach runter.
So much for good luck.
Ich überlege gerade noch, wie ich das runterkriege.
Picked up the horseshoe that had assaulted me. It was heavy, as the bump on my head attested.
Okay, ich habe das Hufeisen. Wollen mir keine Gedanken mehr machen, wie ich das runterkriege. So, gehen wir da rein.
I needed the key to open it.
So.
With a deep breath, I placed the key into the lock of the house I'd been thinking about for weeks and turned it.
Hey Mutti, Hallöchen, schönen guten Abend. Und rein da.
Hello? I don't know if I expected a reply, but with only an echo in response, it seemed like nobody was home. I hope that was just the wind.
Ja klar, war nur der Wind.
An orb appeared seemingly from nowhere, glowing and shimmering with energy, simultaneously captivating and terrifying. It was like it had a
Kugelblitz.
presence, an aura that I couldn't explain. My first
Es muss ein
instinct was to
Kugelblitz
look for
sein.
smoke and mirrors, but this illusion was right before my very eyes, one that I could reach out and touch.
Nein, nicht anfassen. Okay, es will, dass wir das verfolgen. Du kommst pünktlich zum Kompressionsstrümpfe-Austausch. Ja. Pünktlich zum Kompressionsstrumpf-Austausch. Ich habe es zweimal mitgemacht. Hinterher, da hinten ist Lichtern. Außen war kein Licht an keinem Fenster.
This was strange. I didn't remember seeing any lights on when I was outside the house.
Ja, rein.
Walking into the room, I realized it must have been Abigail's bedroom. I I was in the right place. Somewhere in this room was the Gree, and I needed to find it.
Okay, da klingelt einfach nur irgendwas.
The sheets lay flat on the bed, undisturbed for more than 30 years. The Gree wasn't going
Ach,
to
du
be
bist
there.
hardcore.
It was a grand four-poster bed with a carving of a single rose on its canopy.
Da unten blinkt was. Ah, Schürhaken, können wir da mitnehmen?
I took the poker from the
Ja.
hook.
Voll.
I hope that was my imagination.
Boah.
The portraits hung tight to the wall and didn't reveal anything hidden behind them. Above the fireplace hung individual portraits of 3 men. They must have been the bride's 3 brothers.
Und Glitzer oder was, aber ich will mich erst umgucken.
I couldn't see anything special about the phonograph's reflection. The music box was locked with no visible keyhole, but a distinctive indent on the front looked like it might be the mechanism to open it, if I had the right key.
Ich muss das nochmal loswerden. Ich finde das Spiel bisher wirklich gut gemacht, aber warum redet der Typ so viel? Weil ich alles untersuche.
The music box looked exquisite. The deeply varnished wood, grain still visible, was edged delicately with gold.
Weil ich mir alles angucke, Penny. Deshalb redet er so viel. Kompressionsstrümpfe lästiges, aber wichtiges Übel. Jawohl.
The phonograph didn't have a record to play. I tried to lift the ashpan grate, but decades without use had rusted it in place.
Okay. Das heißt, wir können das mit dem Schürhaken direkt aufhebeln.
I wedged the poker in the grate, and with all my might, pulled.
Perfekt.
I picked up the object that had been glinting in the fireplace and discovered it was a jeweled brooch. It was an ornate brooch that had tarnished with age. What should have been a sparkling gem was now grimy and dull.
Sieht doch fast so aus, wie wenn das in die Schatulle passen würde, oder?
The music box looked. The
Tja.
brooch fitted snugly into the indentation in the
da steht
music
das
box.
Ledertäschchen
With a
sogar.
small click, the music box opened and revealed the contents it had held untouched for more than 30 years.
Ja, das hat er wieder
The
mitgenommen.
small leather bag was just as the witch doctor had described. It was hard to imagine what could be so important about it.
You should not be here.
Ich weiß.
Wait, I can explain.
You don't belong here.
I
Warum
don't mean
nicht?
any harm.
Get out. Get out.
Ja, nee.
With good fortune, the pond had broken my fall. It
Okay.
was a strange juxtaposition, wiggling goldfish out of my underwear as I tried to process the fact that I'd just been the victim of an attempted murder by a ghost bride.
Das verstehst du mich, wenn ich sage, mein Fleisch und Blut.
So that meant the treasure might be real as well. And now I had the Gree. It was time to return
Ja.
to the Spirit Queen.
Ach, er geht einfach so. Okay.
Murphy, did you find it?
I saw her. I saw the bride. She tried to kill me.
I told you it was true. Now, do you have the Gree?
Yes, I found it.
Good. Good. Now, do you believe what I've been telling you?
I'm starting to. Why did she try to kill me?
There are some spirits that, even in death, do not wish to give up what they amassed in life. The question is, are you strong enough to persuade them?
I would be if they'd give me a chance to ask them.
Precisely. That will be our next step.
Jetzt fliegt schon wieder was aus dem Teich. Sieben
A
Zutaten.
manuscript for a voodoo
Von
spell?
Knochen,
A
von
spell to
Zwergen.
help me find the treasure?
A spell to
inneren
reveal
Sense.
those who know
Wow.
where it is. There are many things on this island that have gone unseen. Stories that have been left unheard, at least by mortals. But I commune with realms beyond. Let me introduce you to a friend.
Mhm.
Out of the shadows, the cursed and the damned, return now, my servants, to do my command.
Wer bist du denn?
I have returned to you, Master.
Loa, this gentleman wishes to find the lost treasure of Belmore Manor. Tell him how this can be done.
Only inhabitants of the house know where the treasure lies. Their spirits still within its walls, trapped between life and death. To ask them, those spirits must be pulled back to the mortal realm.
And that is what our spell will do, Murphy. A summoning spell to unveil the ghost trapped within the house.
7 ingredients place inside, tie closed and then unseal. Within the focus what may hide, this spell will soon reveal.
Once you've collected all 7, we can summon the ghosts of Belmore Manor. Once we've summoned the ghosts, we can ask them exactly where the treasure was hidden. You have served me, Loa. Be gone. That, Murphy, is your goal. Find the 7
Okay.
ingredients named in the Voodoo manuscript, place them in the Gree-Gree, and return to the Spirit Queen. Are you up to the task?
I think so.
Excellent. Then there's just one thing left to do. The Gree-Gree that you carry is not yours. It was stolen from the spirits. And an artifact of voodoo will only work for its rightful owner. To be
Okay.
used, it cannot be stolen. It can only be bought or traded or inherited. Fortunately for you, the spirits and I are willing to make a trade for something symbolic of your spirit. The spirit that yearns to escape its humdrum life. If you want the Gree-Gree to be rightfully yours, what do you have to offer in exchange for it?
Mhm. Meine Uhr.
What about this?
A pocket watch. A symbol of the life that doesn't satisfy you. A symbol of lost time. Dare you give it up?
I think I can do without it.
Then cast it into the spirit pool.
Rein damit.
The spirits have deemed it a satisfactory trade. The Gree-Gree and its powers are now rightfully yours to wield. You are ready now, Murphy. Head out to the island and retrieve the ingredients we need. Then I will show you the final step of the spell.
How am I going to find what I need?
Everything I've ever needed for my voodoo spells, I've found here. It's as though this island draws the supernatural to it. The bayou, the beach, the town, the manor, all will help you in your search. Tell me, Murphy, have you visited the mill to the north, the fort to the south, the church at the island's heart? The island will lead you to that which you seek. I have no doubt about that.
Drei neue Orte.